Okay, this month I thought I'd talk to you about people, team. I don't think there's a business in the land and a leader in the land that doesn't recognise that the quality of people, the skill set, the way they play together as a team is the defining success factor in pretty much every business. So if you think about the people that we have on teams, they tend to fall. You read different books. Different people have described it different ways, but I tend to describe them in 5 different groups. So the first group is you have on board the self-starters. The self-starters are the people that actually hardly even need you to be there. They're desperate to get on. They self-manage. They're always up for stuff. Very often task-focused because they just want to get stuff done. You only just need to start the sentence and they're off delivering for you. And very often entrepreneurs like that type of person, because an entrepreneur who tends to be sort of, we could be doing this type person, loves people who can then get on and deliver that. So entrepreneurs very often miss out the management tier in the middle and go straight to lots of task people. And the ones that we tend to favour and love earliest are the self-starters. So you've then got a second group which I describe as the hesitant followers. And the hesitant followers are essentially of the same value set, let's say, and the same so they've got the same hot buttons broadly as the self-starters. So if what you're doing it meets their values, then they will follow. But they're a little less gung ho. They're a little less likely to just jump when you start the sentence. They look for the full sentence, and then they look for an explanation. But generally they're with you and they're looking to follow. They're looking to follow, but they're just a bit hesitant in doing so. And so again, we tend, as entrepreneurs, to like those people because they're not too much hard work. They're a little bit more hard work than the self-starters. But in a way, those people are quite useful because you find yourself explaining yourself to them, which you might not do if you just had self-starters. And it makes you think about whether what you're saying actually makes any sense or not, which I've certainly been guilty of failing to do on occasion and sending people off doing stuff only to realise it was a stupid idea. So hesitant followers is a good group. You've then got, I think, the critically important group, and they're the determined skeptics. And a lot of people don't like skeptics, and they find difficulty in separating skeptics from cynics. But a skeptic is someone who is broadly with you, but is questioning you every step of the way. So they support what you're trying to do, but they're sceptical. They question that belief that you've got, or that bit of research that you haven't yet done and you're assuming holds true. They hold you to account. They're really valuable. Every team needs a skeptic. Everybody needs a determined skeptic. And if you haven't got one, you'll go, all the self-starters and hesitant followers and the entrepreneur disappear off a cliff together because nobody said, hang on guys, do we really want to go over this cliff? So determined skeptics are the group or the sort of person that tend not to be loved but are essential in the team. You've then got 2 groups who are, we find less easy to handle. So we've got the reluctant followers. So you had the hesitant followers who just hesitated a bit. Now you've got the reluctant followers. And the reluctant followers really don't want to move. They're really comfortable where they are, thank you very much. They don't really see why they have to move. It's a bit like hem and haw in Who Moved My Cheese. They just expect the cheese always to be there. They just don't believe that we need to do anything. Why would we bother? Life's always going to be good. And the reason that we don't like those as entrepreneurs and particularly and leaders, whereas managerial leaders actually quite like them, is because there's a lot of explaining and mollycoddling and bringing on for the journey involved. And then the last group, the cynics. And the cynics you've got to get rid of. You need to fire cynics at the first available opportunity. You need to get rid of them, because a cynic is like a cancer in the organisation. A cynic is someone that will do anything but move with you in the business. They'll seek to poison everyone else, and they've got no particular reason otherwise that they've decided that they don't want to do it. So spotting cynics is really important. So those five groups, to my mind, are the sort of. I always look at people in my team and I work out, well, which one are you? Now, if you think about that, and you think about the impact that people have on your success as a business, and then you think about what your recruitment approach is, and how you end up with the people you've got. And if you're honest with yourself, I mean, certainly in my early years, it's complete hit and miss, incredibly amateurish. There's this nonsensical belief that I can sit in front of someone for 10 minutes with a piece of paper that's complete fiction normally in any case, and work out who they are and how they're going to fit in the team and how they're going to be. And we completely fool ourselves into believing there was some sort of inspirational judges of character by having these interviews. So yes, you need a CV, of course, but it tends to be fictional. None of us writes in a CV our bad sides. It's always the great leaps of every mountain that we've assailed in all of our lives. Of course you need an interview, but I'm now heavily engaged every time, not just recruiting people, but working with a team with things like psychometrics, and trying to understand where everybody is coming from on a particular issue and what their drivers and motivators are. An interview, we don't just have an interview, we give people an objective, a task objective, and we monitor them and we video it and we watch to see how they go about what they do in their behaviour and what they do first, what they do last, all those sorts of things. We have an intelligence test and rating to judge how quickly we think they're going to be able to absorb and take on new ideas. And we don't just send the usual letter after the fact to references. We phone people up and say, "Can you tell me about this person? What's the story?" So, in my experience, bearing in mind how important people are, the sort of people you can end up with on the team, it's really, really important to give more thought and a more professional approach to picking the right ones to join the team. It's very difficult to get rid of them, and even more so, it's a nightmare to have someone stay who is a cynic. So good luck with that.